Hi there, everyone. Thank you for joining. I'm Helena from Scratch Magazine, and I'm delighted to be joined by Tom Chapman today. Hi, Tom.
Hi, nice to be here. Thank you ever so much for the opportunity.
No, thank you. I'm very excited to talk to you today about Hair and Beauty Talk, and also learn a little bit more about your background as well. And for those of you that don't know about Tom, because his journey started in the hair side, he's an award-winning barber, author, educator, and he's also on the British Beauty Council Advisory Board as well. And importantly, he's the founder of the Lions Barber Collective, which was founded in 2015 and is a group of international barbers who raise awareness of suicide prevention. So such an amazing thing to have founded, and so imperative as well. But you've grown into so much more since 2015. So why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, so 2015 was the original thing. It was meant to be a one-off project originally, and it kind of grew into much more than that, because I realised actually being a hairdresser or in the hair and beauty industry, that we are a lot more than just a hairdresser or beautician. And I think a lot of the time people say that I'm just a whatever part of the hair and beauty industry we say we're in. And I think I realised very quickly that actually we are a confidant, we're a trust, human touch, contact, something that has been limited for the last 12 months especially. Yeah. And it's about trying to take advantage of that to help look after the people in our chairs. And I realised that actually we could do that with two different things. So the Lions Barber Collective has grown into awareness, so just raising awareness around mental health and well-being and how to look after ourselves as beauticians and barbers and hairdressers as well, which is really important. And then also, how to look after our clients, and how to be able to listen to them, and how to do that well, because we do it anyway. We listen to our clients. We have to listen to our clients because we have to listen to what they want. Because if we don't listen to what they want, then we mess up from the very get-go. And actually, we're really good at these things. Yeah. So that's when I developed Barber Talk, which I worked alongside a psychiatrist called Dr. Peter Aitken, who is a lead suicide prevention for the Southwest. And he also does a lot with RNLI, the lifeboats, and also Network Rail. And we developed a training program which was around 4 pillars of recognise, ask, listen and help, and tried to make it accessible and easy for us to use and use well. We're not about trying to make you into doctors or therapists. I know you're beauty therapists or whatever, but you're not trying to make you into therapists. We're trying to give you the skills so that you can listen, react well, and pass people on, connect people, the communities, bridge that gap, the communities and the resources available. And it's been really successful. It's now endorsed by Habia. It has CPD points for it. It has it's won multi-awards. It's been a fantastic course, and I realised that it's not just barbers doing it, and there was a little bit of a barrier. So between we have trained nail technicians and beauty therapists and in the past, but it made me realise actually no, it's a time to come to rebrand it and use it and access all the hair and beauty industry, because we are in an amazing position and we're very, very lucky in what we do.
Definitely, and what you've achieved so far is absolutely incredible, and I think it's going to be more important than ever based on the last year and what people have gone through, not only the professionals within this industry but obviously their clients as well. When businesses start to reopen and they can start offering hair and beauty treatments, I think we're likely to see a lot of clients that are feeling a little bit overwhelmed, and I think it's brilliant timing to branch into the beauty industry and be able to offer this. So I know that your first session of Hair and Beauty Talk is tomorrow, 23rd of March, but it's fully booked, no surprise.
Well, I'm really grateful to yourself and for putting it out there and letting people know, because we launched it, and I was really wanted to do it, and we had the manual, and obviously we haven't been able to film the new videos yet with the beauticians in, because obviously we can't. So I was like, I'll put it out there and see what the response is like, and it was just so incredible that it was that I was like, oh my God, this is definitely the right thing to do. And we've had hundreds of emails, and our admin volunteer, bless her, I hadn't actually told her that I'd put it out there. she phoned me early in the morning, was like, Tom, we've had hundreds of emails about Hair and Beauty Talk. I was like, oh yeah, I'm really sorry. I kind of thought I'm just going to announce it and see what happens.
Deep end.
Yeah, I was in trouble. But no, honestly, the response has been fantastic. And for me, that's not just great for us. It's amazing that for me that so many other people can relate to this situation, and so many people know that they're in this position, a privileged position, that they can help the people in their chairs and help them and look after them. And we already do this anyway, whether we like it or not, and we're put in this position, but we have no training around it, because people come to the beauty therapist, people come and have their hair done through all these points in people's lives. They come like for dates, engagements, weddings, christenings, divorces, funerals, and we're at really, really emotionally charged parts of people's lives. Yet we're not trained to how to deal with these things or how to take them on. And we're very good at this industry is very good at fixing and solving. Someone comes in with nails like me, which I won't show, and they get them fixed and solved, and they go out and they look fantastic. And we feel we have that role of fixing and solving things. And actually, it's about teaching people that we don't have to fix and solve, but by giving people that opportunity to talk and us listen to them without trying to fix or solve them, we can actually give themselves that platform where they can solve their own problems.
See, that's just fantastic. I think within the nail industry, we kind of promote to our nail technicians within their treatments, if you're not qualified to diagnose, you're qualified to kind of advise and support. And if someone comes to you with something that's contraindicated, then refer to a doctor or a specialist. Don't, just go ahead and go forth with it. And this is very much kind of the same idea as well. You're not teaching people to diagnose mental health issues in their clients, you're supporting the help.
Yeah, and the training's broken down so that it's about, we're inwards facing to the community, and we see people all the time that the NHS will never ever see. Domestic violence has gone up during lockdown, homicide's gone up during lockdown, mental health's gone up during lockdown, and when the doors are open again, they're going to come and see us, and they want to be with us, and they want to, and we're going to have this opportunity to look after them. But we aren't there to prescribe and diagnose. I never want anyone to prescribe and diagnose, but what we can do is we can bridge that gap between the communities that the NHS and the other services can't reach, and connect it to them, and let those communities know that they exist. Because a lot of people just assume, the NHS is rubbish, or the mental health services isn't good, it's a really long waiting list, it's all this. But actually, at the moment, the waiting lists for the mental health services are really low. And I know that some of them, IAPT, which is IAPT, if you search that in your area, it's different names in every area, but that's free talking therapy, and you can Google that, look that up. And I know for a fact here in Devon, it's gone through the floor. They've like had to, and some of the services they've had to cancel them because they haven't got enough to run the courses, because people just assume that they're not there. But these things are available, and it's about connecting people to them. Sometimes it's just about listening, and that's the training pillars are: recognize the signs, ask questions, ask good questions, listen with empathy and without judgment, and finally signpost and help that person find the help they need. It's about taking responsibility away from us, really, and keeping ourselves safe.
Fantastic. And it's about 4 hours, the training, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about 3.5, 4 hours. It depends on the group. Sometimes we have groups that are really talkative and we get into really good discussions, and it's really interactive. The idea is that, I've done lots of training around mental health. My whole life is engulfed in it now. And a lot of the training sessions are like 2 days. They brief you like a big workbook like that, and it's like really, really intense. Whereas this is about trying to give someone the skills that are usable, accessible, and memorable as well. We're not trying to overload you with information about this is what bipolar looks like, or this is what PTSD looks like. It's like, look, this is how to recognize a change in someone's behavior, which is an opportunity for you to then ask them a good question. A question, that's more like, instead of going further then, are you all right, mate? Well, how's it going? Because it doesn't really mean anything. To actually like, how are you feeling today, Hona? Do you want to tell me about it? And then saying things like, if they don't want to talk, say, look, I'm here for you should you need me. And letting people know it's about providing as many opportunities as possible for people to be able to open up and feel comfortable about talking about their mental health.
Yeah, and I think beauty therapists, hairdressers, barbers are in such a privileged position to be there. We said earlier, it's, you know, beauty therapist is the objective really, and that is part of the role. It is the listening part of the role, and you have that contact time that, you know, it's anything from 30 minutes to a number of hours with a client.
Holding people's hands. I mean, how intimate is that? Like we just said before we come on here, when was the last time you sat across the table and looked into someone's eyes and held their hands? Probably on the first dates with your now partner, but even then it doesn't happen anymore, does it? You get bored of that very quickly. But you know, now technicians are doing that every day, all day long, and that license to touch is so rare. And I think especially the last 12 months we've had, where we haven't been able to actually see anybody or touch anybody. And I know that when we did July the 4th, when we went back cutting hair, I cut a guy's hair, and he was fine during the consultation, chatting away. But as soon as I started touching his head, he actually broke down and cried.
Wow.
Because he lives by himself, and he wouldn't say he had mental health issues. He wouldn't say that he was struggling, but he hadn't had human contact for months. And you think there's a lot of people out there like that haven't had any human contact for God knows how long.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of people don't realise how in need of something they are until they're in a situation like that. There are probably people watching this, and, you know, friends, family that have, yes, we've been living with someone, or we've been on our own and we think that we're fine, but it's not until you get out and have that time with someone where you think, oh God, no, I'm not in a great place, or I could really do with a little bit of support, or how refreshing is it to have this time with someone. I didn't know I needed it so badly. So I think there's so many degrees probably of support and help that this training can really benefit for clients and for the professionals themselves. It's just wonderful. But so we know that tomorrow is fully booked. Yeah. What happens for Hair and Beauty Talk then? What are your plans next?
Well, you know, I'm aware of how hard the industry's been hit. You know, financially, we work on cash flow, and we haven't had any cash flow for so long. We don't really have anything else we can sell other than ourselves and our skills. So I'm really trying to get funding from somewhere. I've spoken to people at National Lottery and things like that, have funded us before, but that takes weeks or 6 to 8 weeks to go through it. And I'm also aware that when it comes to the 12th of April and the hair and beauty industry can go back, we're not going to see anybody for weeks and weeks and weeks other than clients. And we probably will work too much and too long, and we won't take care of ourselves. So that's something that, you know, I think we should touch on as well moving forward, is we need to look after ourselves when we go back to work. People have waited for months for their nails to be done, and whatever, another day or week is not the end of the world. Make sure you look after yourselves and don't work too long hours. But the idea is that, you know, we're trying to get funding. So if anybody knows anybody, if anyone's watching this and works for a company within the nail and beauty industry, and they want to fund some training for the nail technicians or the beauty therapists to be trained as well, it works out normally around £160 to train somebody, but these ones are getting it for free. And we normally have 20 people on a course, but we've opened it up to 40 for tomorrow. So we're going to try and get double, and I'm happy to do that until we go back to work, because I think if we can get, I mean, how many people does a nail technician see on a day?
I mean, you're looking at anything, well, let's say the average is probably about 8 to 10 maybe.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's 50 people a week that each nail technician is seeing, and over the space of a year, you know, and that's if they work 5 days. You know, in the space of a year, that's a lot of conversations that people are having. So it's a very small investment, and you know, the biggest thing is that mental health, if it's not seen to, or we're not helped, or we're not signposting people to, it can get very serious, and it can lead to suicide, as it did to, you know, the reason why I started this. I lost a friend to suicide, and you know, suicide, you can't put the price on a life, because people are precious. You know, I've had that emotional loss. But when we did our documentary, the £1.7 million haircut, the reason why it's called that is because I interviewed somebody, and they told me that the economic impact of a death by suicide is £1.7 million.
Wow.
It's huge. It's huge. And considering that suicide is the biggest killer in young people, that's a huge economic impact. And what we just need to make some of that money that is being wasted on people dying, which is suicide is preventable, we need to invest that into these prevention places in the community, you know, looking after one another and looking after each other.
Definitely, and we've had a couple of comments on today's live. One from Debbie, who did Barber Talk in November, and she said it was absolutely amazing. Really hope that you get the funding to continue running them. Well done, you're amazing, Tom. So, and we've had some loads of positive comments. Dave Heffernan, who is he's actually a columnist for Scratch magazine, with a focus on mental health. He said, you know, listening without judgment is so important.
Yeah.
And you know, big congrats for everything that you're doing as well. So it's such brilliant training. And how can people keep up to date with when new sessions might be and how to get involved, or even how to support you with some funding?
So the thing, I mean, the best way to keep in touch with this is we will be announcing them through our social media. So it'll be Lions Barber Collective be announced through the Facebook. They come up there live all the time. But as soon as we do it, we publish it on there as well, so you can book through there. Instagram, Twitter. You can always email info@the Lions Barber Collective as well if you want to get in touch with us about it. And also, you know, like we're talking about support there. Something I want to tell you a little bit about, something that I've been working on for a while, with no avail just yet, but we are getting a step further. Is there's a proposal that I've put together because, like I said earlier on, as a therapist or a counsellor or a psychiatrist or even a Samaritan, you're not allowed to leave without offloading. You're not allowed to leave without, you have to have someone looking after you. As a beauty therapist, nail technician, hairdresser, barber, we listen to 8-10 people every day, maybe more, and we don't have anybody who looks after us and speaks to us. And I think that's really important, that we need to be able to offload that, because we're carrying a lot, whether we realise it or not, we are, and there's no way it would happen professionally. So with that in mind, I've put a proposal together. It's been to Parliament. It's actually in Parliament at the moment. It's been floating around a few different places. And I know there's a couple of MPs, and I know the Minister of Mental Health has seen it now as well. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we get some funding to try and provide our own Hair and Beauty offloading support service, which will be an online web chat for those who don't want to speak in person, but also weekly group sessions on Zoom, like a support where we can go around and we can offload and look after each other to provide something. Because my vision is that if we can support, you know, as the Lions Barber Collective or whoever, we can support the hair and beauty industry. We're supporting a few, and we can go out and look after the nation, because effectively that's what we're doing anyway, but we can do it safely.
That's incredible. Such a great note to kind of touch on, and thank you for everything that you're doing and progressing with this moving forward, because it's so needed. And I think, yeah, often the actual beauty therapist, the hairdresser themselves, can be forgotten in that they're taking all of this weight on their shoulders at the end of each day, and then having to live, you know, their normal life in the evenings or at weekends, and you know, having the weight of their client stresses on their shoulders. So to hear of that is wonderful news. And I think anyone watching would agree. Anything that we can do to support those initiatives, then please just let us know, because it's wonderful to hear that. But thank you so much, Tom, for everything that you're doing, and for Hair and Beauty Talk. It's so refreshing to hear of this initiative, and we will keep everyone posted with any updates on when the next Hair and Beauty Talk may be, and we'll post all of the Instagram and the website links in the comments section below. But Tom, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you ever so much, and thank you everyone watching. And I just think it's great that you're supporting us and trying to, and you realise and recognise that in the hair and beauty and the nail industry.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Well, take care and good luck, and we'll speak soon.
Thank you. Speak soon.